Okay, good morning. Happy Tuesday. So we're going to move on from writing the equations using the directrix and the focus, or the directrix and the vertex, or the vertex and the focus, like we had done all last week and yesterday. Today we're going to write the equation from a different form. So you're going to be given an equation, and we want to write it in that standard form. And remember that your standard form is either going to be x minus h squared equals 4p. Sorry. Y minus k, or y minus k squared equals 4p x minus h. So this is the standard form that we're looking for. So we have to use our algebra skills and our prior knowledge to get these equations the way that we want them. So if you look, you're always going to see x's and y's, and you want to take the squareds and keep them, that letter, on one side, and take the other letter and move it to the other. So the first thing I'm going to do is move this 8y over. And then you're going to move that number over. You're going to see why in a second. Because this should start to remind you, hopefully, of completing the square. Remember when we did completing the square, we took the b value, divided it by 2, and squared it. That magic number, we added it to both sides. So in this case, we get 1. So you're going to add that magic number to both sides. What that does is it does create, just like we did with the completing the square, you get a perfect square trinomials. So x minus 1 squared equals 8y, and you combine your like terms over there and you get minus 8. And now on this side you should have something that they have in common so that you can factor that out. So x minus 1 squared, they have 8 in common, and if you divide that out, this is what you're left with. And this is my standard equation of my parabola. So I know that's going to take some getting used to. We're going to do quite a few more examples, but I want you to just keep trying. Do not give up so easily. Keep watching the video and look at the algebra. So let's do another. Let's do this one. Okay. So every time, again, look for the squared. So I'm going to leave these guys on one side, and the other two, move them over to the other side of the equal sign. If you are comfortable moving your pieces all at once, that's fine. For now, I'm going to do them one by one, just to get you guys comfortable still with your algebra. So again, take your b term, divide it by 2 and square it. 3 squared gets me 9. That's my magic number. Add that to both sides. Here, let me square it off. Magic number. Magic number. This gets me my perfect square trinomial. And over here, I can combine like terms. 23 plus 9, 9, 12, 32. And now here, you look again to see what they have in common. They have 8 in common. So we're going to take out -8 because we're going to take out what's in front there. Whether it's a positive, positives, you don't have to do the extra work, but negatives change things up. And if I divide both of these by -8, I have y minus 4. And again, here is my final equation that looks just like my standard form. Soak it in. Okay, let's keep going. Number 3. All right, so again, keep my squareds on one side, the other two pieces move over. And again, you need to constantly be working on your algebra skills. They are very important. Okay, take my b, divide it by 2 and square it. Again, my magic number is 9. That's what I'm going to add to both sides. Perfect square trinomial. And over here, -3y, and -18 plus 9 is -9. And again, here they have a factor in common. Take out that -3, and you're left with y plus 3. And that is your equation. We'll keep going. All right, squareds on one side, numbers on the other. Just keep getting into that habit. The more you say the rules to yourself or the process to yourself, the easier this starts to become. You need to practice these things. They don't just happen overnight. All right. So take our b, divide it by 2 and square it. So you get 36. Magic number. Add it to both sides. Perfect square trinomial. And over here, when you combine these, they actually cancel each other out. And that's okay. Right? That just means that there's a 0 in there somewhere. Okay, so this then is your equation. You don't have to factor anything out. A little different. We're going to do this and get your skills, your solving skills up. You're going to get you back with your equations. And then we are going to move this into another phase and tie together our first few days with the graphing and this. All right, I'm going to do one more with you. Let me look and see which ones I did. Oh, okay, I don't know which one it was. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so this time we've got the y being squared. So leave them on this side and you're going to move over the x. So whatever squared stays on that one side. And then we move over the number. So we can take our b, divide it by 2, and square it, magic number, to complete the square. Perfect square trinomial. Over here, when you combine like terms, you get 4x minus 32. They obviously have 4 in common, so when you factor that out, oops, I changed this to an x at some point, sorry. All right, and there's my equation. So I'm going to give you guys one to do. This example is your practice. I'm going to start your practice example. And when you're done with it, you're going to take a picture of it and you're going to send it to me. So hang on. All right, so this is the one that you're going to do. I want you to try and follow those steps. Remember, get the squares on one side, the other two pieces on the right. You're going to complete the square by finding that magical number, combine like terms along the way, and then factor out that common term in the end to get your equation in standard form. Okie doke. Have a good day.